So my name is Mary Renaud, and I started coming to New Life about 6 years ago. I've struggled with my health my entire life, but I think the last year and a half, 2 years, it's been this mental struggle. I was very depressed, probably the most depressed I think I've ever felt. I had gained a significant amount of weight. I was sleeping 12, 14, 16 hours a day sometimes on my days off work. I was calling out of work because I couldn't get out of bed. I was in and out of the hospital. I've been in the hospital 4 times this year. So on November 4th of 2022, I got sick with what I thought was the stomach flu. But the symptoms that I was experiencing never went away. So everything I ate, everything I drank, even water, no matter what I put in my body, it wouldn't stay in my body. So finally, I got to a point where I couldn't do it anymore. And I knew I had to make a change. I was terrified. I didn't know what was happening. I made an appointment with my gastroenterologist. He came to go over my results and told me that the bottom portion of my stomach had collapsed. My stomach was not working. And they diagnosed me with gastroparesis, which in other words is stomach paralysis. And basically, it's a condition that's lifelong, cannot be cured. So I left there feeling a little discouraged, happy to have had an answer to what was wrong, but it was very discouraging. And so I talked to Pastor Jake and let him know what was going on, and he let me know that I could probably benefit from a prayer session because it sounds like there was some spiritual oppression in my life. And I'd never thought about that before. I'm used to being sick mentally, emotionally, physically. I have been my entire life, and it's just something that I had accepted. I said to Pastor Jake, absolutely, let's do a prayer session. I was tired of being sick. So going in, we were going to be praying for physical healing for this lifelong, non-curable condition. That kind of took us on a journey of, I wasn't just there for physical healing. I had a lot of anger, resentment, towards people in my life who I love very much. And that was hard to uncover that. And ultimately, through talking about the people who I was holding this resentment against because of the things that they've done to me, things they've said to me, whether it be intentional or not, it hurt me. And that's hard to let go when someone hurts you. It's hard to say, I forgive you, and really mean it. And we prayed through it. I forgave, really, really forgave those people in my life who had hurt me physically, emotionally, mentally. And it was like a weight was lifted. And after we dug through the emotional turmoil that I didn't even realize I had inside of me, we focused on the original plan for the prayer session over my physical health and well-being and my stomach. And we commanded that I be healed. And at that point, like, I knew I was healed. And Pastor Lucas told me to go home and eat some pizza. I knew, and I had faith, that I could go home and do that and I would be fine. And so when I went home and ate that piece of pizza, a piece of me in the back of my mind was like, wow, this is not a good idea. But I knew that it wasn't going to make me sick and that I was going to be able to digest it normally and actually get energy and nutrients possibly for the first time in 6 weeks. And I was fine. I actually ate another piece and it was fine. Like, I ate normal food that night, and every single day since then, I've eaten normally. So since I walked out of the prayer session and felt the healing powers of God, it was not only a healing physically for my body, but it was truly a healing in my faith. In these past couple years, I've taken the unconditional love that God has for me for granted. And I was doing things in my life and living a lifestyle that was not fully one for someone who is living their life for Christ. The miracle that I received with my physical healing and emotional and mental that day was phenomenal, but reflecting back on my life, there's been miracles multiple times in my life, and I never gave the credit to God. I gave the credit to worldly things. But I know now it was Him all along. And everything I've been through, He's been there. Even when I didn't think I could feel Him or see Him working in my life, He was. And I don't ever want to feel that way again. So I'm really focusing on this faith that I do have and not taking it for granted and knowing that God loves me unconditionally